Every AFL team needs a white clash Guernsey. Now I know most people won't agree with this, and in an ideal world, every team's Guernseys would only be made up of their team colours. But in this video, I'm going to tell you why every team needs a white Guernsey, how the weather and time of day impacts Guernsey clash, and I'll show you Guernsey designs for the 9 teams who don't currently have a white jumper. So why does every team need a white Guernsey? Well, because there's really too many examples of Guernsey combinations that in theory shouldn't clash, but in practice actually do. Let's look at some examples. Let's say Hawthorn are playing a home game against Adelaide. As the home team, the Hawks are entitled to wear their classic home kit. Adelaide's home jumper clashes, so they'd wear their red clash jumper. But the mixture of red with navy and gold hoops makes this clash as well, especially in the setting afternoon sun. The Crows' only other colour is gold, but obviously that would clash as well, so they need a white Guernsey. You be the judge. Which of these is better? This or this? Here's another example. The Giants' home jumper is a real mix of colours, from the mostly black front to the all orange back. It makes it hard to avoid a clash in anything other than a white jumper. This applies when GWS play at home to Richmond. The Tigers' home jumper clashes with the Giants' black, and their yellow clash jumper clashes with the orange. Again, which of these is better? This or this? I'd even go as far to say that whether West Coast wears its blue or gold Guernsey, it still kind of clashes with Richmond's home jumper. So I've come up with a white clash design for all 9 teams that don't currently have one. Starting with Adelaide, we've gone with a design inspired by some of their older Guernseys, most recently their Gather Round kit, but this time in a white version. For Brisbane, it's pretty simple. Basically take their current Bears Clash kit and replace the gold with white. It may not seem like it, but I'd say all 3 of Brisbane's current kits clash with the Hawks and Giants home kits. This one is pretty much the same as the grey clash jumper the Bombers had for a while there, which I seem to be the only person who actually liked it. The grey probably needs to be lighter than it used to be to completely avoid any clash, but other than that, they really should bring this jumper back. And in particular, wear it against Brisbane. I might be the only person who believes this, but I think that both of Essendon's current jumpers clash with Brisbane's home kit. This Gold Coast design actually ties in with my redesign concept I did a while back. The Suns have actually even worn this design before, but again, it works. It looks alright, especially with a complete collection of this design, and if they don't wear this, then they should really just go back to that original wave design. The Giants have had a bunch of decent white jumpers over the years, but they don't currently have one outside of their Indigenous jumper. This design goes back to their OG home jumper. For this Clash Guernsey, we've just rearranged the colours and come up with something that I think looks pretty cool. The Hawks have recently brought this design back for Retro Round, and I reckon it looks even better now than it did in the 90s. Obviously, it looks better in gold, but I reckon this white version works pretty well also. We love the Flaming Demons jumper, so any excuse to bring it back is welcome. Again, it looks better in navy blue or red, and there's a chance the Demons might not even need a white jumper, but I think just have the white jumpers on hand, and this looks pretty good in white as well. For Richmond, it's another very simple one. We've gone with that yellow sash across the jumper and a black outline around it on a mostly white jumper. I think this looks great, and you know, again, white is probably not considered one of Richmond's colours, but for this example, it works well, and this gives them a jumper to wear against teams such as GWS and Hawthorn that completely does not clash at all. For West Coast, we've gone for a white version of the wings. Look, this would be by far the worst of their 3 Guernseys, but again, it serves that purpose of just absolutely eliminating the clash. Most of these Guernseys wouldn't be worn very often, and sometimes they might not even be worn at all in a season, depending on the fixture, but I reckon it's important to have them available if needed. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.